Yes, and I wish there was 300 of me, folks. That's right, 300 Vasilis. Because I can't get around to this property fast enough. That's what I've come to conclusion with. I was out in the veggie garden and I was thinking about we've got to do a little segment tomorrow. I thought let's talk citrus, and I've come out here to have a look at my citrus in the bags. Blossoming beautifully because they're getting the superfood and all the good stuff. And they've had some planting mix added on top. But look at this. On this side, it's all drying out, dropped all its leaves, and the flowers are drying up as well. And it's not because I've overfed it or anything, it's because this is what's happening. Have a look at this. Look at under here. I've had my glasses on trying to work it out. It looks like aphids and eggs and everything like that. There may be scale in there too. So we've got a pest on this tree that's attacking it, and the problem we have here is it's in flower. So we can't really spray the tree that easily whilst it's in flower. Looking at all these leaves here, just checking everywhere, these are all good. All this side here is good. It's attacking this side. It looks like this was the oldest one, well, not the oldest one, an earlier one that was attacked. I've just taken this leaf off because it's completely curled up, and yep, they've been in there too. So they've moved on from here, and you can see they've stripped all the leaves. I've done it with my dirty hands. I've been in the garden. So all these leaves have fallen off, and it's trying to push out new leaves again, and they're getting attacked as well. Look at that. So now we have two options. We can do nothing because it's flowering and watch it die, a slow, painful death, or we can spray it and try and salvage as many of the flowers as possible. Now you're going to try and avoid spraying on the flowers, but this branch here in particular, if I look on the underside, it is covered, and I'm sure if you all go out to your citrus trees, look at this one here, look at that. That's a bloody party. You know what? When it comes to things like this, so look at that. You can spray that and try and knock it all out, but I dare say most of these won't die straight away until you drench the tree to the point where it's dripping, and that's what you need to do. So we can take two different approaches, well, two parts to this approach. A is prune all this off, take this off and let it start again, or B, isolate it and spray that part as best we can and do the whole tree as well. So you can do a prune and a spray if you like, or just a spray. Now the ants are on here, farming it, having a wonderful time on it. This tree's never received a spray of any sort, not to my memory, whereas that one over there, we'll go over here and have a look at this one. This one here had the CGWS. These are the old leaves where the CGWS has been on as a preventative, as a shield. You can see the faint white colour there, the off-white film that's left behind, and that's the barrier that protects it. And now you can see all this new growth coming on with a heap of flowers. We're inundated with flowers, so the tree has recovered from the old problems we had in the past. It hasn't filled out on this side. We've had to cut that branch off, but we've got it coming back with a vengeance. So this is super healthy, and that's only had the one CGWS spray on it. That's for citrus gall wasp, but it also provides a shield as far as other sucking insects like aphids and scale too, so it will deter them from attacking your tree. So with that one there, what are we going to spray? Well, I reckon you can do a horticultural oil if you like. I'm going with a soap and water, so I might put some oil in there too, some olive oil. So I can use a vegetable oil, and normally the mixture that I make is a teaspoon to a tablespoon of oil and about 4 drops, maybe a teaspoon of dishwashing liquid, and generally a cheap product, the cheapest you can get, the ones that have very little additives in it, so it's basically soap and water. And spray that onto the tree, and the soap, once it dries up, it'll suffocate the insect and cause it a bit of trouble and hopefully knock it out. And at the same time, your citrus trees, if you haven't done so already, give them a feed. Pots and planters and ground. This is our superfood course. This is the course grade, which is fantastic, a slow release, and the chitin in there, which should help the tree fight off these pests. So just a light handful around the base, or maybe a little bit more like that, and give it a water in too, folks. Don't leave it out there applying it in the garden without watering it in. So what I'm going to do is get my tools. I've opted to go with just the soap here at the moment to see if I can save this little branch here, and obviously the rest of the tree so it doesn't spread any further. And I did mention that you can prune it if you like, if it's really badly infected, and make that decision based on the condition of the branch. If you think it's dying off, or if there's any dieback, a little bit like that on the tip, but if the entire branch is dying back, well, consider pruning it off and spraying the remaining part of the tree, or otherwise, just get yourself some soap, as I said, and spray the underside of the leaves. It's vital that you go upwards, not downwards. And as you can see, the flowers are facing predominantly upwards as well, so try and get the spray to flow upwards. And obviously with our easy hand sprayer, you've got that control where you can swivel the nozzle to face up and spray in that direction. And just adjust this so they're not too harsh. There we are. I'm just going to pull it a little bit forward, and it's only soap, so it's quite safe, folks. We all love to wash our dishes, don't we? So get it on, spraying upwards. As you can see, I'm getting right underneath there and getting on the underside of the foliage. That's where you need to go. I'm going to do everywhere. Hopefully we don't affect the flowers. It's only soap, there's no oil in there, even though the soap may actually cause some damage too. But more importantly, it's the insect that's causing all the damage, and we can lose the tree if we don't take action. When they're like these leaves, when they're really bad like that, it's pointless even trying to save them, folks. Things like that, cut them off. Pick them off if you have to. I dare say there won't be 100 leaves like that. It'll be about half a dozen or so on a small tree like this. Just go around and pick the worst ones off, because they are really going to struggle to ever recover. Look at this. There's a whole colony in there, and because the leaf is cupping over like that, it's protecting the whole nest. So you're better off cutting these off, definitely cutting them off. So like that, just drop them on the ground and squash them, or put them in the plastic bag and seal it properly. Otherwise, drench them, drench them, drench them, drench them. Upward sprays, folks. It's the only way you're going to do it. Get it all underneath there, drench it really well, folks, and get yourself an easy hand sprayer if you haven't got one. And about 3 times that I had a go at this, all 3 times we had to cut because I sprayed all over the camera. And I've done it again? No, I haven't. Okay, just got to be careful. Look what happens if you spray on top. It lands on the leaf, lands in the flower, and it doesn't get on the underside. So all the insects, all the bad ones, all those pesty ones, they will always go on the underside of the foliage. So look out for your citrus trees, folks. This time of the year they're coming into bloom, so that means the sap is flowing through and it's going to attract all the pests and diseases. Give them a feed, so a little bit of superfood, compost, or even planting mix around the base because they're big feeders, and get onto the sprays. If you need to prune a dead, disease damaged wood, cut it back if you think it's too far gone, and then start spraying, and keep it natural. Make your own dishwashing liquid, that's all I've got, and some water from the kitchen, and obviously an easy hand sprayer that will save you a lot of grief trying to get underneath the leaves. So you just tilt the nozzle upwards. These are available at all leading garden centres and on our website, vasilisgarden.com. Check out our website, vasilisgarden.com. From me, Vasily Maresi. Yeah, I've lost it.